Hello, everybody, and welcome to Big Bold You, a show that is dedicated to inspiring everyone out there, and yes, that does mean you, to play bigger in your life. And believe it or not, playing bigger in your life is so much easier than playing smaller. But you got to play with other people. You can't play by yourself. And we want to inspire you to be bolder, which means you have to step out of your comfort zone. You got to become comfortable being uncomfortable so you can become the best version of you. I believe that we live in a world where there is a war between good and evil, and the only way evil wins is when good people don't do enough. Because I know there are so many incredible, great people out there that are existing, that are doing, but I promise you, you can do more. And every week, we have incredible guests that come on to share their stories, to bless us with their greatness and their talents. And today is going to be an incredible show because we've got with us Tim Gillette, who is a personal great friend of mine. I love him to death. He is a video and blog really expert and consultant.
Yeah, you can say that. I won't.
I mean, I know. He's like, Jiz, I'm going to be telling you all the amazing, wonderful things about Tim, but you really are an incredible person all the way around. We've known each other, golly, since the summer.
So, yeah, just the summer.
But I feel like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, it's like we've been friends our whole life.
But tell everybody more about you. I mean, where do you come from? What got you here to Texas, and just anything
Well,
else?
I come from my mother and father. I mean, just to start out, to
Hey.
get really basic and original there.
This is what we're going to deal with today, right?
You know, mom and dad, you know what I mean? They messed around a little bit. That's how I came about, to start things out.
Hey,
all
everybody,
right?
get your kids in front of
there.
the
Okay,
get
Mom,
your
I'm making
kids in
fun of
front.
you right now. I was, you know, I was the 1 millionth. I was the 1 in a millionth swimmer that
Right.
really was ready to get here and perform and be awesome, and decided it was going to be me. I was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I love Scranton, Pennsylvania. It is a beautiful little town. I've always said that, you know what I mean, I love going back to visit. This time of year, I only like to visit in the summertime, though.
Yeah, but no, isn't Scranton, Pennsylvania? Isn't that where the whole show, The Office, was supposed to be based in? Okay.
But it's not really filmed there.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well, that's how it goes.
Anyway. No, I was not on The Office. I'm not a friend of Michael's.
You didn't work with them?
I didn't work with him, no. Back in the 70s in Scranton, it was a truckers and mechanics and, you know, blue-collar town.
Right.
As a matter of fact, both, you know, all the way up through my father, grandfather, all of them were like blue-collar workers, mechanics, truck drivers, stuff like that in there. And it really,
Well, that's what everybody did, right?
yeah,
Everybody did that.
That was it, yeah.
Do you have siblings?
I have 3 younger brothers,
Oh,
Kenny, Jimmy, and Nathan.
Okay. Now, did you torment them?
No, they tormented me.
They did,
Yeah,
Tim.
yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I'm the skinny runt. I'm the oldest, but I'm a skinny runt. My brother Jim is muscularly built, all right?
Right.
He looks like Mike Rowe, all right? And he's got the muscle capacity of Mike Rowe. My brother Ken's the brains in the family, all right? And not always good. He can pull off the jokes, the practical jokes, and he can get us all in trouble and then go, but Tim knows better. He's older, you know?
And you're the entertainer.
Yeah. I'm the one who decided to, like, put my guts out there and spill it and embarrass the family.
Well, I think that you probably have made up for it. I think you've made up for it by now.
I try.
You try.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've shared some of your journey with me, but you're in video and blog. You are an expert. You've got your own company, and you are branding it as the simple, easy way to market.
Yes.
That's correct, right?
Simple, easy marketing. Yes, I believe it is so simple and easy, and that's what I need because, like, I was a D and F student in school. Really, I was D and F.
And you were DNF student because why?
To me, it was too much information. Probably I had some of that, what do they call it, that ADD and stuff going on, but they didn't know it back in the 70s. To me, it was just, I had trouble learning.
But see, this is what I think is really important. Because we label and we judge people and kids by these grades. And it's really, we do everyone a disservice because just because you can't do well on a test or you can't make an A or a B in a class doesn't mean you're not valuable. No. And then vice versa. There's plenty of people that, I mean, they are book smart, like, you know, nobody's business, but yet you put them in to a practical setting and they can't get themselves out of a box, you know?
And it's true. And I want to tell you, you know, Jens, one of the kids I went to high school with, he was considered, you know, him and I were like the troublemakers. His name was Tim also.
The two Tims.
The two Tims. We got in trouble a lot. But our 10-year high school reunion, Tim couldn't come to our 10-year high school reunion. You want to know why?
Why?
His business was so busy. He was putting a roof on a house of everybody who said he was a loser.
Yeah.
He just says, well, I might be a loser, but you need a roof? I can put it on your house.
Okay, but here's what I want to ask you. I did excel in school, and so, you know, I was one of those
Opposites attract.
I know, one of those little smarty pants. But I wanted to do well, so I did well. But did it affect you in a negative way to have people, and how did teachers deal with you? I mean, you know, you didn't make the best grades. I mean, did that negatively impact your self-esteem growing up?
Yes, it did.
It did.
It did, because I literally, I couldn't get, I remember leaving, my parents did put me in private Christian school for a while, and I literally could not pass there. It was just tougher. When they put me in public school, it was my senior year of high school, I think the second quarter, I finally made honor roll for the first time in my life.
Yes.
I had 2 classes. I mean, how hard is it to make honor roll with 2 classes?
Hey, doesn't matter. A win is a win.
A win's a win.
A win's a win.
And I struggled a lot. And I say now that if my English teachers knew that I wrote a book, I swear they'd roll over in their grave. All right. My history teacher, Mr. Timmerman. I remember Mr. Timmerman. He's probably, I don't even know if he's alive anymore, but if he was around, he'd be like, oh my God, that Gillette kid wrote a book? Yeah.
But, you know, I think it's important because as parents, as adults, as grandparents, I don't think you're a grandparent yet, are you?
No, unfortunately, I've not made it there yet.
No.
It's not up to me on that one.
But I think it's important that we always remember that people have value to give and value to provide, and that everybody is special. Doesn't matter what their situation is, what their circumstance is. And it's really kind of interesting how you have stumbled into the online world and video and blog, because one of the things I think that makes people so successful in video and blog is just being them. Yeah. You know, but before we talk about how you got into video blog, how was the process? You know, how, because I know you got some really cool stories, and he's got some really cool mentors that we all know and love.
You know, I was a car wash guy. I knew how to wash a car, and I got that much down. And I owned car washes in 3 states: in Boston, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and here in Dallas, Texas was my last one. And Dallas, Texas, I washed an awful lot of important people's cars. Right. You know, some cowboys, some stars, you know what I mean? You know, those people. But one of the most unique cars that I used to wash was Zig Ziglar's. And I sold my business in 2004. And Zig, I had a personal conversation. We were sitting across the table like this. And I said, Zig, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have 10 years. I'm out of this industry for 10 years. Right. Do not compete for 10 years. And Zig said, Tim, you know how you go around sharing all these car wash people in town and you tell them how to make their business more profitable? He says, that's coaching. He says, and you could do that and speak, and you'd be really good at it. And I went, yeah, sure. Me? Zig, come on, I'm a D&F student here. Me speak? No one wants to hear this stumble on stage. And it took me 5 years to believe in myself, to go do it. But Zig told me. It was Zig Ziglar who said, Tim, you'd be a good speaker. And, you know, I ignored that for a long time. And I always say, having Zig tell you you'd be a good speaker is like having Bill Clinton tell you should run for office. The guy's pretty good at it. He's probably got the system down. You might want to follow him. So.
But, you know, what's interesting is when you met him, did you know how big he was? Did you know who
No,
he was?
I didn't.
Okay, so you didn't know who he was, and he would come in, get his car washed, and he's imparting wisdom on you because that's what people do. That's what real leaders do. They're givers.
They're
They're
yeah.
givers. There are two types of people in the world. There's givers and takers, and real leaders are
And
givers.
Zig was a giver.
And so as he's giving this and he imparts his wisdom on you, it takes you 5 years.
Yeah.
And this is what I think, this is a lesson, because there are people that are in our lives right now, and they're sent to you and to me to give us insight, because you can't see what you can't see and you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Act on it faster. I mean, we got to act on it.
Yeah. To me, I always say now, it's like, you talk to me all the time about how good you are. I asked Jens at an event she was speaking at one time. She says, anybody here not reach their goals? She goes, I reach my goals. And I'm like, I so can't relate to that. Like January 31st, I'm still trying to do 99% of the list.
Okay. Well, then you need to watch my webinar this Wednesday. And I'm going to tell everybody about that. I've got a webinar this Wednesday, which is how to do a 12-month plan, because you have to do it before, and it just takes a little bit of time. But the awesome thing is you learn as you go.
I do.
So here you were.
But I fail forward. That's how I learn.
But that's how everybody fails forward.
It's okay. I mean, really, I didn't learn this until I was in my 40s. I mean, come on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was in my 40s before I had anything really good, sustainable. I mean, other than washing cars. I was washing my cars in 30s. But 40s. I mean, I was 44 years old when I started this.
I love it, though.
Yeah.
And I love it, but to me, I think 44 is young.
It is.
And I love Judge Judy. 52 years old is when she got her gig on Judge Judy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, she is a badass.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. I love it because she'll just tell people, she doesn't care who you are, and she just tells it just the way she sees it. And I think sometimes we need to hear that as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to hear things just as people see it and they call it. But so 5 years, but what were you doing for 5 years before you said, you know what, I think I'm going to take up Zig Ziglar's advice?
So I was very professional looking. All right. When
I wish we had a picture of you.
I have a picture online I posted last week of during that period of time where I shaved my head. Yeah, there is a picture of me bald. Yeah. But I was short hair and looked professional. I was always neatly dressed because I was professional in my business. I went to work for Starbucks, and I literally could goof off. I didn't have to look professional. So I, grew my hair out again. Now I've grown my hair about 4 or 5 times in my life, but I grew my hair out again, and I look like this. And I go in 2010, we talked to Zig and I talked the last time. 2012, he passed away, but 2010, I says, I'm going to get a haircut. I'm going to go buy a suit and a tie, and I'm going to do that speaking thing, Zig, just because you said I can do it. And he said, no. He said, Tim, he says, you'd really suck being Zig Ziglar. He says, but you make a pretty good Tim Gillette. You need to work with this.
Keep it. And then you had to play with Tom Petty.
Well, that was a 2014 thing, all right? The whole thing started in process was I hired Craig Duswalt, who is my coach and mentor now out of California. And actually, Craig, we talk every week. And, we were always trying to come up with a way to refine my brand. And I'm going through LAX airport, 2014-ish.
Right.
And literally a TSA agent grabs me by the arm. I just put my sunglasses on, just grabbed my bag to go, and a TSA agent puts his hand on your arm. You're like, oh, crap. What am I going to jail for this time? And he goes, Tom Petty. And I go, no. He didn't believe me. He followed me all the way to my gate, and he had me I actually signed a thing, not Tom Petty. Because he just wanted an autograph. He thought it was Tom Petty. At least he didn't ask me to take a picture. Right. Because he really would have been found out then. Tom was alive back then, and I since then I've never got to meet Tom Petty before he passed away. I was hoping to, and it just didn't work out. So
because Craig was in the industry, the music industry.
Yeah. He was in the industry.
He actually he was a manager for
Axl Rose.
Yeah, for Axl Rose. Yeah. So I'm sure he met Tom Petty.
I don't know. I can't think of Craig whether he ever did, but I know Don Cromwell, who has a radio show on another network, and Don was in Air Supply and played with Eddie Money, and he knew Tom Petty, and he used to always tell me, he says, "Yeah, but you're a foot taller than Tom Petty." So.
Yeah, Tim is very tall, just to let you know. You're just very tall. Yeah. So you jump into this and you said, okay, I'm going to do this. But when you started, did you start with video and blog, or did you just start, hey, I'm going to go and speak and I'm going to share with the world some of the things that I've mastered?
Yeah. Well, 2009-10 time frame, Zig wasn't really mentoring people.
Okay.
Or he was kind of, he'd had his, had health problems and whatnot, and he was on his dying days. So I didn't know who to connect with. The first coach I connected with was out of Colorado, and she got me to get my website domain, which was called Rocker Life Coach. And I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to write this blog thing. I found WordPress.com, and I would just write a daily thing, and it turned out to be I would write what motivated me about rock and roll song. And it took process to learn that too. I mean, there was always a process of learning. I would just post on what I was learning. And one day I decided to write a blog post about a song that has always inspired me since the 1980s, and it was that song by Foreigner called Jukebox Hero.
Oh yeah, love that song.
Inspirational story.
Song.
So I talked about that in a blog, and 7,700 people showed up to read it. And I'm like, whoa, I went from 35 people visiting my blog to 7,700 overnight. And I'm like, what did I do? And that was the first sign, working with coaches who said, well, maybe you just need to blog about rock and roll music.
Right.
So that's where we went.
But what I think is so awesome is it's when we are the most authentic, when we're talking about what we really love, when we're in our passion zone, that people feel that. You know, I mean, it's like if they put little wires and electrodes on my brain and on your brain, and if I shared a story with you or anybody out there where it touched me, the exact same parts of my brain that are activated will be activated in everybody that's hearing it. So that's why when you are the most real and you are just authentic, people connect with that. You know, people think that they can fake people out, but you really can't fake anybody out.
No.
So you found, okay, gosh, I'm going to talk about songs, rock songs, and what they mean to me and how they impact me, and you get, almost 8,000 people that are like, hey, I liked that.
I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go read that again.
So then that led you to.
Well, I did that for a couple of years, and I've had three things that were major boosts that made me go to learn. And number one was I told the story about my father. All right, I did a weekly series, and one of them was my father. That was a big boost. And I learned, okay, don't be afraid to tell where you came from.
Right. Well, you got to tell us your story about your father now, Tim. Gosh,
so
you can't
my dad passed away in 2010, and as a matter of fact, I'm leaving in a couple hours to go fly to Pennsylvania to help my mom sell the house finally after years. But he passed away in 2010, and it was New Year's Eve 2010, and my mom was here. And I've always loved my dad, but my dad was one of the most. He was very impactful in my life, but he never really got out of his own little world in Pennsylvania. He tried several times. I actually got out of Pennsylvania. But something that was always about my dad that always said, even though, we have crap go wrong in life, he said, not a year and a half before he passed away, he said, I've lived a good life. I've only had 2 bad days. He said, the day my brother-in-law died and the day my grandkids moved away. And I'm like, I knew my dad growing up, stories. I mean, my dad literally had to wear his jeans to school wet because he had one pair of clothes. And he would wash them at night and put them back on to go to school the next day. They didn't have luxuries back then. You know what I mean? They literally washed it in the creek.
Right.
And dried it on the line. And, he was a young boy in a house full of sisters and mom, and his dad left. He didn't see his dad again just before his dad passed away. And it's like, I look at that, and he was an inspiration to me. Wow. Because you look at that life and you say, I only had 2 bad days.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah, and it was huge to me. That inspired me. So I told that story, and it always reminded me, never be afraid to tell people where you come from.
Yeah, it's a truth because, again, people look at you, and they just don't realize that everybody has a story. Yeah. Everybody has a story. Everybody's had struggles. Everybody has the negative self-talk. Everybody has their down points, and you have to realize that's one of the reasons why we both love laughter, because we're like, hey, if you can't laugh at yourself,
you can't. Yeah,
it's going to be a problem. You got to laugh at yourself, and you've got to realize that it doesn't matter how bad you have it. Somebody always has it worse than you do. But I love it that your dad said he's only had 2 bad days. you know, and that's a great attitude. And you're so happy and positive. And
not always, but in public. Well, my wife will tell you all the negative things I said over the summer while building a house. Yeah. Yeah.
But so tell everybody what you're doing now, and I'm going to ask you some questions about what you're doing now. And then if you're watching and you want me to ask you some questions, like I've got somebody right now, Charlene wants to know, are you still not Tom Petty?
Believe it or not, that's still my website, nottompetty.com.
That's
just
right.
Saying. Yeah.
That's right. It's still nottompetty.com.
I'm not getting rid of that. To me, it's just so cool to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so basically 2015 in the blogging world, right, that's when I stopped trying to be Mr. Motivational. I started narrowing down my niche to blogging. And about that time, Periscope and live streaming, like we're live streaming on Facebook now, live streaming came into being. And YouTube. And it became big with a show or a website called Blab, blab.im, I think it was.
Right.
And when I got on Blab, I literally became like an overnight sensation. And not that I'm a star, but on Blab, I became a Blab star because I literally went from new guy entered on. 30 days later, I got a couple thousand people following me. I don't know why.
Right.
But I just did. So then I learned to play stunts on Blab. Me and another friend, we actually orchestrated the idea on Blab of, you know, what we called a Blab official or the certified Blab. All right, we had this green check mark we used to put next to our name.
Oh, that's
and we said we were
hysterical.
Blab official or Blab certified. And it got so much headaches and so wild to the point that Blab CEO called me and said, "Tim, will you stop? I get thousands of emails a day asking about this certification, and we don't have it." And I'm like, "Hey, we were about to print shirts out on it. We just took it for a ride. We didn't care."
Blab check.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
But when I was starting to do, so I still stuck with, I was on live streams and I'm talking about blogging. And last year, I really went intense with Craig Duswalt. And I said, "Craig, I want to go back to doing events again."
Right.
And I wanted to do a blog con or Dallas blog con or something like that. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And he says, "Tim, there's two things that you're famous for." And he says, number one is blogging. Number two is video.
Right.
You get on video and people will come watch your video. Okay, he says, "So why not do something blogging and video?" So we monkeyed around with the name. First, we were going to get Blog and Video Revolution, and we didn't like it. We tried to do Blog and Video Summit. I didn't like the ring to that.
Right.
But then we went, why don't we try Blog and Video Con, like Comic-Con?
Right.
And I'm like, first of all, I look to see if the domain's available, and then I look to see if anybody has it trademarked. That's the two things I learned to do right now.
Exactly.
And it wasn't. So we started doing this event on Blog and Video. And the very concept that you do right here with this show, Jens is doing it. And that is, I put people on a show, we interview, we post it live on Facebook, we put it on YouTube, we make the blog out of it, and then we repurpose it into audio. I mean, it's exactly what I tell people to do.
Right.
And you're doing it already.
Right. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. People, I think that when you realize that each and every one of us has gifts, we have talents, we have things that we can add value. And if you just start talking about what it is that you love, what your passion is, the impact that you want to make on other people's lives, again, people enjoy that. Yeah. And so here's a question, and I had somebody ask me this because they knew you were coming on the show, and their question is, can you make money doing video and blogs like this?
Oh, yeah.
And it's okay. They want to know how.
Well, actually, at my event, we actually had 3 pages of the workbook. It was about 70 some odd ways you can make money online.
That's so awesome.
It's just, there's so many of them. But, there's just a few ways that I can mention here because, we're limited on time. This show, for instance, I do a show very similar to this, and I charge people $1,000 to be on the show. $1,000. And most people go, "Why would I pay $1,000 to be on a show? I could probably go on Jens for free." Well, we have a advertising team that will then take that show and we'll put it on Facebook as a Facebook sponsored post. So we pay to boost you and then market you out. So I'm making money on them being on the show, but I'm boosting them, so I'm giving them value for that. I'm sending them out to an audience that doesn't know them yet.
Right. It's earned
That's
media.
That's one way to make money. Number two is I could sponsor. I've been on podcasts with Dean Cain, and most people don't realize that these celebrities will actually come out and do an interview with you for a fee.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, say it's $5,000 to have Dean Cain. I don't know Dean, I don't know what your price is. You didn't tell me. $5,000. Well, immediately you go out and get sponsorship. go out and ask everybody for sponsorship. Hey, would you sponsor my show? Would you sponsor? Dean Cain's going to be on it. You want to sponsor the Dean Cain show?
Right, right.
And sell sponsorships. Well, if it costs $5,000, first thing you want to do is cover the $5,000. Then anything you sell over that is profit.
Right, exactly.
And sponsorship pays for the second thing.
Right.
Then there's the affiliate marketing thing, where every little word I have that's blue highlighted and you click onto it and you decide to buy. I love the Amazon one, by the way.
Yeah.
Amazon is the favorite because you didn't know this. If you can go to Amazon and get like a free ebook and you put it on there as an affiliate link where they basically got to Amazon because of your link and they click and download that free book, it is an Amazon sale. And Amazon gives you a piece of the pie for everything they buy for the next 60 days. I don't know if you know that. That's moneymaker.
That's awesome, Tim. But see, you know, you've got an event here in Dallas,
Yes,
and you do it twice a year.
Twice a year.
And I actually
You were my
opened
opening
up.
speaker.
I opened up for Tim because you understand the importance of personal development,
yeah.
which is really my baby. I mean, I tell people all the time, you can only achieve what you are developed to achieve. So if you're a B player, you're going to achieve B player results. You're a C player, you're going to achieve C player results. And if you want to achieve big results, you've got to develop yourself into that type of person. So I opened that event. I hung out for as long as I could, and I didn't want to leave. I had other commitments, but believe me, I was like, I need to just cut out
I'm going to
these
put her
other.
at the end next time. Let's just stick it a
Yeah,
little bit.
but it was amazing. Your content was amazing. And this is, you know, we live in a world that we live in the online world right now. So I know a lot of people have businesses. I know a lot of people are also business professionals. I know people that are stay-at-home parents. And I know people that are in corporate America, but they work out of the house. What are some of the videos that you just say, I don't care what it is that you do, these are 2, 3, 4, 5 basic videos everybody has to have? We're going to jump into video now.
Okay. You know, the first video every one of you should have really is a unique, outstanding about you video. Make something so cool. I mean, if you go read the about page on my website, I'm not yet come up with a video that's so as cool as the what I have it written, but I'm working on it. But an outstanding video that gets them so interested in who you are that they want to connect. You know what I mean?
Right, that's true.
Yeah, that's one that everybody should have. You should answer all your frequently asked questions for your business on video.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. That was one of the things that you were talking about at the event was
Yeah.
have a video, all of those frequently asked questions that people
address 'em.
just get a video. And now here's the next question is, can we just do this on our phone or do we need to have something professionally done?
I do a lot on my phone. And I actually say this, and I actually, how many times I show this? One of the top marketers in the world uses this device right here. Yes, I'm showing the Apple symbol in there, but I'm not meaning to. But he uses his iPhone. He makes $1 million a month with an iPhone, and he has a studio just like the one we're in.
Who are you talking about, Gary Vee?
Frank Kern.
Oh, yeah, I love Frank Kern.
Frank
I
Kern
love
does
Frank
more
Kern.
money with his video on his phone than he does with all of his professional equipment.
I think, you know, I think people just need to start. They
That's
just
it.
need to start.
That's
so
it.
You're not going to be perfect at the beginning.
Nope.
In fact, you're never going to be perfect. So
No, no, that
So-
first
no,
one
we're-
you do, you know, there's about 7 to 10 people who are going to watch the first one.
Right.
Let's be honest with you. My mom and my Aunt Jean are going to watch them, all right? They watch everything I do. I'm pretty sure that my cousin Cindy's watching right now. She just watches everything I do. And these 3 women in my life, first of all, have seen every mistake I've done. They've been through it. So what am I worried that I'm going to embarrass myself in front of them? First of all, they're the only 3. Probably my brothers are going to watch. You know, now I have Jen's as a fan. She's going to watch.
I'm going to
but
watch.
So
I'll
many
watch.
people are afraid who's going to watch. You know,
It doesn't
everybody,
matter.
everybody who's seen every screw up you've ever done is going to watch your first one.
Right.
Who cares?
But you know what? So I love Gary Vee.
I do too.
I follow Gary Vee. I watch a bunch of his stuff. I love it when he shows videos from the very beginning when he started doing Wine Library, and he just looks, you know, he's brand new. I mean, and that's what people just need to start. And what other people need to realize as well is this isn't going away.
No.
I mean, video and what we're doing right now, live stream, it's not going away. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't matter really what area that you're in. So you're going to have to learn it. I mean, I'm just telling you. You know, just do it.
Just go do one, all right? You know, my friend Brian Fanzo always says, you know, just press the damn button. And that's his way for saying, just go for it. Just go do it. All right, stop going, I'm going to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. Just do one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know, a friend in our local chapter here, Priya, came to me, and she was telling me she wanted to do these mindful minutes. And Priya, I love them.
I know, they're awesome.
So enthralled into watching her do them because it was just her being her.
Right.
And it was so cool, you know, and that's it. I tell more people to do that, and they're like, okay, and then before you know it, they've got a whole series going.
Exactly. This really goes right along with our Ask Jen's question. Yeah. And we've got this is perfect because we're talking about all this information, and I'm gonna address this, and I'm gonna let Tim do it as well. So the question is, what's the most important thing to address when building an online presence? And in my opinion, it's consistency. It means you start and then you don't ever stop. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you will get better every video that you do, but you've got to do it on a consistent minimum weekly basis. That's where it begins. What are your thoughts?
That's exactly what my coach asked me today. How many are you doing a week, Tim?
Right.
And literally, that's what, less than an hour ago, I was on the phone with Craig, and he said, how many are you doing a week now?
You got to increase it.
Yeah, increase it.
Right.
The second thing I'm going to tell you is I really feel that you need to be authentic and be real. I kept trying to hide, and I use a lot of ums and ahs in there because I stutter. It's just the way I am. I'm never going to go take speech therapy to get rid of that because that shows you that I'm real. I don't care that it sounds unprofessional at times, but it's real. You're not seeing something that I'm totally scripted out. Now, I do have a script on almost everything I do. Jen's and I went through the notes for today.
Right.
We've got notes. But we didn't know where the conversation was going to go, and we go with the conversation, and that's what people get excited with.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got to be real. You've got to be authentic. You've just got to let it roll, and what happens is what's supposed to happen. Obviously, having that, we call it run a show, it gives you that framework and that structure. So, because sometimes people, they get nervous and they don't remember what to say. It's just like deer in the headlights. But here's the thing that I think is so funny. Just say, you know what? I forgot what I was going to say. You know, just be real, like to your point.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm sure somebody will remind me in a minute.
But you've got a quote that you shared with me, and it's one of my favorite things to do with my guests is I want to know some of your leaders and your role models and your mentors, but I also want to know your favorite quotes because it helps me know a little bit more about you. And one of your favorite quotes is, you can be successful at anything you want in life as long as you have a system and you have the discipline to follow that system. Yeah. How has that impacted you?
You know, I heard that from Dave Del Dotto. I don't know if you guys know who Dave Del Dotto is. He owns a winery in Napa now. But Dave Del Dotto in the 1980s sold like real estate learning. And I bought it. I lived in Boston, Massachusetts. In the middle of winter, you've got nothing to do. So you might as well buy the midnight thing on TV and watch it. And I watched it. And that was one of the things that Dave Del Dotto said over and over again. You could be successful in anything you want in life if you first get a system and second, have the discipline to follow that system.
That's exactly right.
And, you know, that impacted me. And I met him in 2013. I met Dave for the first time. And like, I was like, Dave, I want a picture with you. And he goes, well, why? And I'm like, you do not understand how much that statement impacted me. Everything I wanted to do in life, you're always told by, you know, the naysayers, you can't do that. Well, every system I've ever built that worked for me was what a naysayer said wouldn't work.
Exactly.
I just built a system, and I just disciplined myself to follow the system.
And that's the thing is what people... Every successful person understands the importance of systems. You have to have a system and you have to follow the system. And one of the things I say is there's safety in the system. Yeah. You know, success is like Groundhog's Day. It is rinse and repeat. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And to your point, it's simple, easy.
Yeah, it is. So.
It's simple, easy. It's a simple, easy system and a simple, easy process, but it's the discipline that you have to cultivate that makes it difficult and challenging for people, which is one of the reasons I tell people all the time is you can't succeed alone, and that's by design, because you need somebody to help hold your feet to the fire, you know, and that's just what it's all about. Now, one of the things that I love about our Laughter is the Best Medicine video today. Now, you watched it, right?
I watched it. Oh, my God, this thing's hilarious.
Is I just think, you know, I try to find videos that, first of all, that are hysterical. I love it when people send me videos, and this video is actually from somebody that knows I do the show. They know about the Laughter is the Best Medicine segment, and they said, Jens, this is perfect for you. You've got to show it. But I think it's perfect for this topic because it is a person who has started to make videos to be her just crazy, silly, authentic self. Mm-hmm. And she's making a money, and she's got a career by doing it. So let's watch that Laughter is the Best Medicine video.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Where's motivation? Motivation's never here. Even I get to the meetings in the morning and I'm forgetfulness. Like, motivation is never here. Let's see, everybody else here. Good, good, good. Where's procrastination? Son of a... I'm here. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. So Tiff wakes up in about 20 minutes. She's got a pretty exciting day ahead. She's got Sarah's birthday cupcakes at school, a birthday party tonight, and she has to prepare the fundraiser forms for the PTO meeting tomorrow. So, how can we this up? Already on it. So last night she wanted to lay out the kids' clothes, so she was like ready in the morning or whatever. And I convinced her to watch The Walking Dead instead. Ooh, very good. Okay. People still watch that. I'll tell you what, after Glenn died, I just... What? Glenn died? Yes, anxiety. Glenn died. You weren't there that night. Depression was there. And did a great job, might I add. She didn't get out of bed for 2 days after Glenn died. She really wanted it to be that redheaded guy. I know. But anyway, good. So she'll be a psycho in the morning. That's perfect. I can remind her of all of the crap that she has to do. Same as always. You got to do this, you got to do that, but say it in like a really panicked voice so that she gets really overwhelmed. Good anxiety. Good. I'll come in and drain her desire to do it. Yes, depression. Good idea. This is good. I like how we're working as a team, guys, okay? She's also supposed to be starting a diet today. So addiction, I need you to show up. Make sure she walks by those almond scones when she goes to pick up the cupcakes for the school, okay? She can never say no. You got it, boss. When she's done, I can remind her what a failure she is, in case you forgot, and just let her know she'll always be wearing maternity pants, even when she's not pregnant, because she can't control her eating. And then you come in and make her panic. I can continue just listing things off. You know what I mean? In like a really panicky. Yes, good. I need anxiety and social awkwardness. Go to the party with her. I should probably go to the party too, right? Empathy. Yes, you should definitely go too. Yes, because then she'll be completely drained by the time she's done. So many people just absorbing all their energies. That is good. Okay. Once she gets home and she gets the kids to bed, I got it from there. Insomnia. I can always count on you. Okay, great. Let's get out there and torment her and make her look like a complete psycho. That way everybody around her thinks she's absolutely crazy. Go, places, anxiety. This is a lot. Is this not a lot, you guys? Go, 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 go.
Is that not hysterical?
It's funny. I love it.
I mean, I love it. And really, it's juggling Jenkins, but she actually has struggled with depression and a lot of self-negative talk, and she shares that along her journey. But what she's doing is she's hysterical. She's got a great sense of humor. She started making these videos, and she's got some funny, I mean, really funny videos, and people started to relate to her. And here she is, taking the internet, taking the online piece, taking the video piece, and she's sharing her story, and she's having a blast doing it, which is really what you're all about. Yep. and what you say to do.
And did you notice her whole crew over there? You know, the whole crew of people she had?
Yeah, it's her. Yeah, just her. Right.
Some people are all like, oh, well, I need a crew.
Well, it's her, and then obviously somebody that was doing the camera.
Yeah.
And I'm not tech savvy, but you can learn how to splice, and that's what she did. You could see the splice and dice with the video. You can learn how to do that.
You've seen the video that I used to launch my boot camp.
Right.
That was like just clips I had that I threw together because of that one opening clip where it's Dean Cain saying,
Right.
"Oh,
Oh,
I hear
yeah,
you know
that's
Team
right.
Gillette, so
Yes.
do I." And I'm like, that's it. I just took that piece and I built it from that on just bits and pieces of things I had, and I just spliced them into one.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's not professionally done. It's just
And
very
it doesn't
amateur.
have to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. You just have to start. And that's really what we're all about, is we're here to inspire you to play bigger and just to start the things that you're thinking about doing and thinking you can't do, but you can do. I promise you, you can do them. Just take perfection off your expectation, because that's never going to be achieved. Just think of progress. I mean, that should be your expectation, is progress. Make sure you surround yourself with incredible people like Tim Gillette. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tim. I'm dressed like, because Tim is a rock star.
She dressed more rock star than I did.
I know, because he's a rock star. And I said, I got to make you feel welcome. Instead of having my dress on, I got to make him feel welcome.
I always see her in her dress anyway. So,
Right.
yeah.
We want to make you feel welcome, and we really do want to inspire you to play bigger in your life, to do bigger and better things, because you can, and to really bless this world with your greatness. And we're here to help you. So if anything we said today inspired you, helped you, or if you think that anything that we said can help other people that you know, please share it. Please come and follow us. Tim will put his information in the comment box. And if you've got Laughter is the Best Medicine videos, or if you have an Ask Jen's video, please send that as well. We are so super excited to have you with us, and we are looking forward to seeing you next week at 3 p.m. Central. So until we meet again, be big, be bold, and be you.